What's up, guys? Welcome to the show today. Today we have a special kind of video, and it's about my book recommendations. So, you guys know that self development is number one. So, first, what you have to do is ask yourself where you stay in life, and what do you want to change about yourself, and stuff like that. And from there on, pick the right books and start learning from like people who accomplish stuff that you want to accomplish. So that's what I did. Uh, I'm I'm not there yet. So, but we all have to start somewhere. And as I mentioned, I have today a book recommendation. I show you 5 books today. So, and I will do another one some time because I've read also a couple of books about some stuff that I'm not actually doing right now, so it's okay to know what kind of stuff waiting waits for you. But if you have a direct, how do you say, link, like just let's say you have the sources to do some stuff in the moment, then it's okay to read stuff. But if you like don't have the sources to do some shit, so let's say you want to start an online company, but you don't have any money and stuff like that. It's okay to read about this and get yourself some notes, really, and stuff like that. Because on the second time, when you read the second time, your mind understands things a lot faster than the first time. So it's okay. But I think I should like read stuff that I can only implement in the moment, like right after. So all right, we have the most like the first one is the most like how do you say most common, well known, like everybody knows it, but I want to mention it anyway because it's really that good. And this is Rich Dad Poor Dad. So this is about Mr. Robert Kiyosaki, talking about how people look at money or how people look at materialistic stuff like cars or houses, and they identify that stuff as assets, but in real life, this stuff is liability. So what I just want to quick mention this: what is liability? What are assets? Assets are properties or stuff that bring you in money, and liabilities are stuff that you buy. But like let's say you buy a car and you think it has value, but in real it like soaks money up from your wallet because you have to pay the insurance, you have to pay the parking lot, uh, you have to pay the tires, like service and stuff like that. This is all stuff that costs you, so it is not an asset. So it turns out to be a liability. But people get that wrong, and if you have to develop this kind of mindset to really understand what is what and stuff like that. And this book it mentions makes really good examples of this, and this is the first thing that you have to learn about money, to know where to see what how do you like where do you put your money and what do you think of it. Because if you as I said, if you buy wrong shit and think this is good, then yeah. So and the next book is about the power of eye contact from Michael Ellsberg. So it's a pretty good book because I I think eye contact is a very important skill, not only in business and in your sexual life and stuff like that, but also with your closest ones. Because you always hear the sentence like "eyes don't lie," and the eyes don't lie and stuff like that because it's true. Um, if you like can communicate through like real eye contact and stuff, you also open yourself up to other people, and this is hard because some people including myself in the past, we don't really look into the eye because it shows our vulnerabilities and stuff. So yeah, is a very important skill to learn in each section of your life, sexual, business, and just like with your partners, like, or even with your parents or family members. Very important. I would mention this, like, really, this is really important. The next one is The Courage to be Disliked from, I forgot his name, Ichiro Kishimi and Fumitake Koga. And in this book is about there are a couple of psychological scientists like Mr. Freud and Mr. Adler and stuff, and our society is based on Freud's how do you say, psychological theories. Yes, so there were two brains, not as the brain surgeons, but they were psychological. Yeah, they were studying psychology, something like that. Sorry if I can't pronounce it right. So these two were like studying this topic. One of them didn't agree with the other part, so they split up. One has the belief system that everything that happens in your life is how do you say, a trauma, and the trauma what you have like experience will cause you to act in certain moments like so. And the other one said trauma is a mythological, but it's not true, that people used stuff like that just to cover up. They make use of this stuff to cover up, like they're lying to themselves. They're lying. If they have a trauma, they're lying to themselves to like closing themselves up, like to not open themselves to other peoples and stuff like that. Like it's hard to explain. I'm sorry, but maybe and it's hard for you to understand. And but it's a very important topic. Like, you see the different kind of view of the world. So basically what he's teaching is everything that you like, what happens, you have the you in the end it's you who decides what happens. So if you have a traumatological disorder, and I don't know, something trauma, stuff like that, in the end it's not the trauma that is bad. It is what you make out of use from the trauma. So in the end, it is you are the one who decides what to do with what. And in this book, he talks very often, like, a lot of this stuff, and your viewpoint of the world will change. And he said in this book, he said, if you start with an age of 10 or like 20, you will need double the time to understand or implement this into your life. Let's say I'm 20 and I need to like 40 until I fully grasp the concept. If you're like 35, you maybe need to 70 if you will grasp this. It's really difficult to explain, but I will really suggest you give this one a shot and try to read it, try to understand it. And yeah, very good book. So the next one is written here on German, but it says David Deida. I think in English it's called The Way of the Superior Man, I think. And in this book, he shows a lot of stuff about how women react, why they react the way, how you should react, how you should not react. Yeah, it's kind of a women's guide. Not also women's guide, but also like what it clears up what your position as a man in this society should be, and what you have to know and stuff like that. Very good book. Like, I really suggest all of these anyways, but this one is very important. So the next one is a German book. I don't think you English people will read this one, but if there is any German one in this clip, it's like The Rules of the Winners from Bodo Schäfer, it's called. And he has, in this book, he has some principles. As you see, I was like reading this every day and stuff like that, and this is how the book looks. So it's pretty beat up and stuff, but in this book he mentions you all of the principles that a man has to overcome when he hits adversity and stuff. And it's like when I was going out of the house to the work and stuff, and I had something problem that bothered me that day, I just picked it up and wrote what kind of problem I had, and then he would, like, with practical points, like what should you do, he will help me so I can get through this adversity and stuff like that. Very good book, very good book. I should read it again, but yeah, it's not so good that I don't read it. And the next one this is also for English. This is here it's been written down in German, but you can get it in English. So it's fighter spirit. I don't know how this one is called in English, but it's from John Eldredge and Sam Eldredge. And this book, at first, I thought is not that good, but if I think about this is what makes you an alpha. Original pimp, original G. Because you ask, like, if you want to be an alpha, or if you want to be really, how to say, a strong-minded, wholesome, manly man, you have to have really a connection with with God. So how you say it in English, with the Most High. So, and this book will teach you that. It will not teach you how do you say, it's not something that you can, like, it's not that you have to say this or this phrase when you talk to God, but it's like you always ask God for what he thinks, what this decision of you, like, how do you ask God, like, for what he thinks of you when you do stuff. So you always, when you do something, you always ask God, like, what do you think about this and stuff like that. So it's a very personal connection between you and God and stuff. So yeah. And why does it make you an alpha? Because like the how do you say, the God's way is always, like, it, don't kill people, or don't steal, or don't make adultery with someone else's wife, or something like that. If you don't have these principles, how do you live? You live like an animal, all right? So, but if you always, how do you say, not appreciate, but if you always, like, have God on your, like, if you, how do you say this, man? Sorry, this is complicated to understand, to explain. If you always ask God for what he thinks, or if you, for his permission, or what do you think is the wisest thing for you to do, you always, like, I don't know, it's, for me it is this way. I always have this, not high-minded, if you can say this, but if you have this kind of sense of, and from the moment you ask some stuff for yourself and for God, then I think for me, my mind lightens up and I make better decisions. So, and you have to put God always first in what you do. So, and yeah, it's hard to explain, but I will really. In the beginning, this book was not so interesting, but as I thought about it and let my mind like really, how do you say? Yeah, I implemented stuff from this book and it helps very well. So yeah, I will. This was 5 to 6 books. One was in German. This video was kind of long, so I hope you guys stick all through the end. Also, if you like this video, found it helpful, like, comment, and subscribe to help the channel grow. And one thing I want to mention right off the way is that I will, actually, I don't have to, I will change the camera. I will buy myself a camera and a tripod and some light and stuff to make this even more professional, because at the moment it is not so good. If I want to grow the channel and stuff, I don't think long term this is a very good idea. So, like, to keep it like this. Alright, so I hope you guys will not like have some patience that this will get more professional. So this was everything. I hope you guys enjoyed, and as I said, like, comment down below what you guys want to see next, subscribe and share if you found this helpful, and let's make this channel grow. And I wish you all a positive beginning of the new year, and I hope to see you in the next one.